What's the biggest mistake? The biggest mistake that new syndicators make? What is it? Think about it for a second. Well, you might be surprised to learn that the biggest mistake that syndicators make is they're chasing rabbits all over the place. All over the place. They're going everywhere. They're going across the country. They're looking at every certain type of product type. They're looking all over the place trying to find deals. And you know what? They're out there running after rabbits here and there, and they're not really staying focused on what it is they're trying to do. And so let me kind of give you a typical scenario, a typical example of what a new syndicator does, right? So a new syndicator that doesn't really have an organized system or any sort of structure, they're out there chasing rabbits all over. And they end up getting so tired after chasing all these rabbits that they finally just jump on the slowest and the weakest rabbit. Yeah, that's what they do. They end up getting the slowest and weakest rabbit. And I got to tell you, this process of going through and chasing rabbits and ending up with the scrawniest rabbit is not a way to make money. It's not a good scenario for you to be involved with. And so what do you want to do? You want to focus on one rabbit. You want to learn how to outsmart the rabbit so that you can get there before everybody else, so that you can see value. And guys, this is a big part of becoming a wealthy syndicator, about becoming successful, is for you to specialize, become an expert at one thing and go after that one thing, which is that one rabbit, instead of chasing rabbits all over the place, instead of just going out there and trying to find deals and seeing how you can make money with it. And that's the common way of doing things. And what I want you to do, and what I'm going to teach you how to do, is become an expert at something. It's called the PMI strategy. And we're going to go through that in a second. But first, what I want to do is I want to talk about a story of here, as you can see, Carlos Vaz. And gosh, he's a great story because he's a wealthy syndicator. And really, the essence of what I'm going to be talking about in this model is exemplified in what Carlos has done with his business and where he's gone with his business. And we're going to practice some of the principles that he's actually done. And I'm going to teach you these principles. But first, let me talk to you about Carlos Vaz. Carlos Vaz built his real estate syndication business. Gosh, he did it. It took him about 3 years. I mean, really 3 years to get up to 4,500 units. Come on. Really? In 3 years, he built his company to over 4,500 units. And you know what? He did that with not a lot of money, and he didn't have a lot of contacts, right? He's from Brazil. And so I spoke with him, and I asked him, I said, Carlos, you've had a lot of success in a very short period of time. If you look back over that time period and, you really assessed what was it that really brought you that success? Why were you able to do it in such a short period of time? And I'm going to quote him on what he said. And he said, I'm going to read it here. He said, I think one of the main reasons why we've been so successful is focus. Focus. And I mean, we're very focused. We only do one thing, which is buy distressed assets in Texas only, 150 units plus only, the 4 major cities in Texas only. So we're focused on what we do. And I said to Carlos, Carlos, so pretty much you specialize in a local market, in a certain product type, that's in a certain size, and you're not out chasing rabbits all over the place, right? And he started laughing when I said that to him. He said, yeah, we're not chasing rabbits. And so he said to me, in our case, we want to make sure that the opportunities that we come across fit our systems and fit our company. And he went on to say that, if someone comes to me and says, gosh, Carlos, I've got this great deal. It's self-storage. I don't know self-storage. I don't know how to underwrite that. And you can even tell me, Carlos, the return is going to be 30%, which is a lot bigger. It's a lot greater than what I'm getting right now. But I'm not going to be the best person for that deal. Our focus is not to chase deals to get 20 to 30, 40% returns. Our focus, that's the word. How can we build the company for 20, 40 plus years and have consistency? How do we get that consistency? How do we do that? Well, we do that because we're focused on our specialty. Our specialty is what we know how to do, and we know how to underwrite those deals. And as you can see right there, there's a picture of Carlos Voss's website. And, it'll give you a little bit more flavor on what it is he's doing, his specialty. And so I'd like you to take a few moments when you have some time to log on to his website. The website's www.contiorg.com. That's www.contiorg.com. And it'll give you a better understanding of why he's an expert in his specialty and why he's been so good at his specialty, because you're going to see that he specializes in multifamily properties in the state of Texas. And his strategy is that he's buying distressed, underperforming multifamily properties. And that's all he does. That's it. Nothing else. That's his specialty. And he's grown his portfolio in 3 short years to 4,500 units just because that's his specialty. That's what he does. And when Carlos goes out to speak with investors, investors really understand what it is that he's doing. And because of that, what it does is it makes him more likely to get investors interested in what he's doing and ultimately to give him money to invest in his deals. When Carlos is out speaking with real estate brokers or real estate agents or loan brokers, and he's telling them about what he's doing, they're more likely to bring him off-market deals. They're more likely to bring him deals because they understand exactly, specifically, what he's looking for. If Carlos is out speaking with some of the property sellers, the property owners, property managers, and they really understand what he's doing, it makes it more likely that they're going to do business with him. They're going to sell their properties to him because they understand that Carlos's acquisition criteria fits my property. Because a lot of sellers that are trying to sell properties are looking for the perfect buyer. They're looking for the buyer that fits the property. And because he's able to communicate that real well to these sellers, they get that flavor. Hey, this is going to be a great buyer for my property. And I also want to say that because Carlos really focuses on his specialty, he's able to build his systems, right? He's able to build the structure, the processes, so that when he finds these types of deals, it becomes a cookie cutter. And he's able to move quicker when he finds deals because of that. And so when you become a specialist, like we're going to talk about here in a second, you're going to know what to look for. You're going to know where to look. You're going to know how to look. And then you're going to have others looking for you because they understand your specialty. You're going to be the go-to person. The go-to person because you are the expert. You are the specialist. So with that said, let's really jump into the PMI strategy. How do you uncover value that others don't see using your PMI strategy? And your PMI strategy really is your expertise because you're going to become the best in your specialty. You're going to become the best in your product type. You're going to become the best in your market. You know everything about your market. You're going to become the best at your investment strategy, how you're going to make money. You're going to become the best at those 3 things right there, your property, your market, and your strategy. That's your PMI strategy. You're going to become the best. You're going to become a specialist. You're going to know what you look for. You're going to know where to look. You're going to know how to look. You're going to be the go-to person. You're going to be the go-to person. And as we flip here to the next slide, this is a book that's been on the market for a while. It was published back in 2001. It's called Good to Great. It was written by Jim Collins, and this has been a top business book for years. In fact, it's been a leading book for many universities around the country. And the book's core takeaway is it really studies what makes great companies, good to great. So it's all about, what are the concepts? What makes a great company? And that's the focus of the book. So what really does make great companies? And what Jim uncovered was he uncovered these 5 things that businesses that are great are doing. They're doing these 5 things. One of the things that I want to focus on of the 5 things, and I recommend you get the book and read it because it's a great book, good to great. But one of the 5 things that Jim talks about is the hedgehog concept. The hedgehog concept. And this entire concept is centered on being the best in your specialty. Sticking to what you know, sticking to what you know best. It's your specialty. Being the best at your specialty. And I think it was kind of ironic because this is something that I've been working with, the PMI strategy, for years. And then I come across this book and he's basically saying the same dang thing. So it was reassuring to see that because great companies are focused, like Carlos Vaz, on their specialty. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create your specialty, what you're going to be good at. And it's really important for you as you go forward to find great deals. And to do that, you got to be a specialist in your PMI strategy, your property, your market, and your investment strategy. And, that's pretty much what great businesses are built around. That's what great syndication companies are built around. Syndicators, wealthy syndicators, are very specialized. They know exactly what it is they're doing. They know how to do it. They know when they're going to do it. They know where they're going to do it. And so we're going to cover that. As you can see right there, there's Carlos Vaz. And again, I just want to emphasize that he's a great company. As Jim Collins says, great companies have a hedgehog concept. Great companies essentially have a PMI strategy. And Carlos Vaz, as we talked about, his PMI strategy was he specializes in apartments, his property type. He specializes in the market of Texas, 4 major cities. And his investment strategy that he specializes in, he repositions underperforming apartment buildings. That's his specialty. He's a specialist, and he's a great company. In fact, he grew his company pretty quickly, didn't he?